How?
Does he have a... Never trust a man, even when he looks flat down there.
In the 1960s, at a top-secret research center, a socially isolated cleaner develops a special bond with a captive creature, the amphibian man. Welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to recap a romantic fantasy, The Shape of Water, released in 2017. Hope you will enjoy it. Before we get to the movie, please like and subscribe for more recaps. Enjoy! The movie focuses on the story of a girl named Elisa Esposito. She was found abandoned as a baby with wounds on her neck by the side of a river. She was born mute, and throughout her life she communicates through sign language. She lives alone in an apartment above a movie theater. In 1962, while the Cold War is going on, Elisa works as a cleaner at a secret government lab in Baltimore, Maryland. She has no family and parents, but she has a neighbor who is also her good friend named Giles. She usually goes to see Giles daily before going to work and also brings him food. Giles also lives alone with his cat. He is an expert painter and treats Elisa like his family. At her workplace, Elisa has a friend called Zelda Fuller, who is also a cleaner like her. Zelda always talks to Elisa and holds the line for her whenever she runs late. Colonel Richard Strickland is in charge of this secret facility. He has just caught a strange creature that is a humanoid amphibian in a river in South America. He then takes it to the lab in Baltimore and tells Dr. Robert Hofstetler to learn more about it. When Elisa cleans the toilet with Zelda the next day, Richard comes in and Elisa notices the stick that Richard usually carries has blood on it. Later, Richard is shown with blood gushing out of his hand. He is in great pain when his team members come and take him with them. The security chief tells Eliza and Zelda right away to clean the lab where Richard had an incident. When they are cleaning the place, Elisa is shocked to see one of Richard's fingers lying there. She puts it in an envelope. She then becomes curious about a strange creature that looks like an amphibian man. After some time, the head of security comes to the lab to take Richard's amputated finger. The next night, Eliza sneaks back to the lab to make sure what she saw the day before was real. This time she sees the amphibian man tied to a man-made pool. She feels sorry for him and gives him a boiled egg. The amphibian man takes the egg and then jumps into the water. After that, she starts going to see the amphibian man almost every night secretly. She starts taking an interest in him. She brings a music player and plays music near the pond to amuse the amphibian man. She also starts teaching him sign language when they get familiar with each other. One day when Elisa is spending time with the amphibian man, they are spotted by Dr. Robert. The doctor notices that the creature can communicate with humans and also has feelings. Dr. Robert goes to see his Russian partners right away and tells them everything they need to know about the creature. It turns out that Dr. Robert is a Russian spy and his real name is Dmitry Mozinko. He tells his handlers to ensure that they inform their bosses that the creature has potential to communicate with humans. The following day, when Elisa goes to see the amphibian man again, she finds him chained and groaning with pain. She feels sorry for him and tries to help him, but she is almost caught by Richard. Elisa immediately hides on another side of the lab. She is shocked to see that Richard starts torturing the creature without any reason. He electrocutes it until it becomes unconscious. Soon after, a government official named General Frank Hoyt also shows up at the lab. He is surprised to see the creature. Richard tells the general they have to kill that creature if they want to know more about it, but Dr. Robert disagrees with them because he wants to keep the creature alive for further research. General Hoyt orders them to kill the creature and open it up to learn more about it. Elisa is shocked and scared for the amphibian man and requests Giles to help her free him. At first, Giles refuses to help her, but Elisa pleads with her, stating that the amphibian man understands her and accepts her for who she is. Giles finally agrees to help her free the amphibian man. In the meantime, Dr. Robert meets his Russian associates to talk about how to capture the creature. His boss, on the other hand, tells him to poison the creature to kill it so that the Americans don't learn anything from it. Elisa comes up with an escape plan. She finds an escape route to get away before they kill the amphibian man, while Giles plans to disguise himself to be an employee of the facility. One night, Richard looks at Eliza on CCTV. He is doubtful whether Elisa is really dumb or not. To confirm it, he tries to harass her by telling telling her that quiet women turn him on. Elisa is shocked and scared and quickly runs out of his office. Later, Dr. Robert is seen making poison for the creature and comes to know about Elisa's escape plan when he sees her change the direction of the CCTV camera in the lab. When Elisa is trying to free the amphibian man, Dr. Robert suddenly walks into the lab and tells her he has changed his mind about killing the creature. He instead helps Elisa to get away by putting the guard to sleep when Giles is almost caught in his disguise. Zelda catches Elisa trying to escape, and at first she is against it and tries to talk Elisa out of it. She warns her that the consequences will be terrible if she is caught. She later changes her mind and helps them in their mission. After they get home, Elisa keeps the amphibian man in her bathtub for a few days. They decided to set him free in a nearby canal when it rains hard enough for him to go out to sea. Soon, Richard starts to question Elisa, Zelda, and the other workers about the missing creature, but they don't tell him anything. Back at Elisa's apartment, Giles keeps a watch on the amphibian man. He decides to paint him, but later falls asleep. The amphibian man gets out of the bathtub and eats one of Giles's cats. Giles wakes up and startles the amphibian man, who in turn scratches Giles' hand and rushes out of the apartment to the movie theater downstairs. Elisa comes home to find the mess, and Giles tells her to go find the amphibian man. She finds him in the movie theater and brings him back to her apartment. The amphibian man then touches Giles' bald head and his injured arm. Giles is shocked to find the following day that his hair has started to grow back and his arm has healed completely. He realizes that the amphibian man has healing powers. In the meantime, Elisa keeps falling deeply in love with the amphibian man. They get closer and closer and they finally make love. Elisa is very happy after having that romantic encounter. She can't stop smiling when she's at work, and Zelda notices. She asks her why she's so happy, and Elisa tells her. Zelda is shocked because she didn't see the creature's male organ. Then we see General Frank Hoyt walk into Richard's office and give him 36 hours to get the creature back, or his job and life will end. Richard suspects Dr. Robert because he didn't want to kill the creature, so he follows Dr. Robert when he goes to meet his associate. When Richard reaches there, he overhears them speaking Russian and realizes that Dr. Robert is a Russian spy. Dr. Robert's Russian associate shoots Dr. Robert during the meeting. Richard witnesses this whole incident. He then shoots the Russian guy who was just about to finish Dr. Robert off. Instead of saving him, Richard tortures Dr. Robert and tells him to confess what he was doing and who he was working for. He told him to come clean about who helped the creature escape. Dr. Robert comes clean and tells Richard about the cleaner who kidnapped the creature. Richard then proceeds to finish him off. Later, Richard goes to Zelda's house and threatens her to tell him where she is hiding the creature. She is determined to keep it a secret, but then her husband reveals that the creature is at Elisa's home. He says that he overheard them talking about the creature on the phone. Richard then goes straight to Elisa's home, but Zelda calls Elisa and warns her to let the amphibian man go as soon as possible. When Richard gets there, he searches Elisa's empty apartment angrily until he finds a note on the calendar that shows where she plans to set the creature free. Richard shows up just as Elisa and Giles are saying goodbye to the amphibian man. He knocks Giles out and then shoots both Eliza and the amphibian man. Luckily, the amphibian man quickly revives and kills Richard by cutting his throat. Elisa lies on the ground, bleeding. As Zelda and the cops arrive, the amphibian man grabs Elisa and jumps into the canal. He applies his healing ability to the scars on Elisa's neck. They open to reveal gills like his. Instantly, she jolts back to life and the two embrace. The movie ends with the lovers embracing and Giles' voice saying that he believes they remained in love and lived happily ever after.